Aloha, my friends from out in nature. Felt like I had to get out of the energy of the collective to even film this video for you all about this upcoming eclipse, solar eclipse on the new moon, April 8th, that is going to be passing from Mexico up through Texas, across the US, and completing at Canada. So from Mexico to Canada, that borderline, we have this powerful eclipse coming. I was just on a live talk going deep into the energetics of it, but I wanted to come out here into nature and to connect to the oracle, connect to the oneness, to give you a more up-to-date idea of things to tune into as we approach this eclipse, as the energy has sped up, people's intensity has sped up, accidents and such have increased, I've noticed, around town. And so that could have something to do with the fact that Mercury went retrograde just a couple days back there. Mercury went retrograde in Pisces, which is a water sign, which is prone to imagination and daydreams. And Mercury is the planet of communication and travel. And so when the planet of communication and travel goes into daydream and imagination and fantasy, that can be a bit of a challenge with navigating travel and thought. And so I want to encourage you, if you're feeling as though your thinking has been a little bit muddled or emotional, or you felt highly psychic and sensitive, then you're not alone. You're not the only one. This is a large collective process, and typically we feel as though we're going through our own journey, we're feeling things individually, and when we have these big upsurge events, such as this new moon eclipse that many are saying, is a once in a lifetime, once in many lifetime experience, it creates this incredible pressurizing action that can bring a lot more energy to the table, in terms of not only our own collective energy being activated, but then we get a collective field of activation. And so that is what we are feeling right now. It's our own collective journey of what all these energies are doing in our individual astrological charts, and the activation of many, a whole planet of beings who are all being collectively activated in a similar energetic fashion, affecting different arenas of their life. So let's get into this. Let's get into some of the energies of this upcoming eclipse and ways to prepare, ways to dive into it, ways to really utilize it for your growth and your highest potential as a being here on Earth right now. Okay, so here we go. This coming eclipse, April 8th, will be occurring, sun and moon together at the new moon, in the astrological sign of Pisces. So, sun is how we shine, moon is our emotion. Feminine, masculine will be together, united, in Pisces, the sign of the two fish. Two. One swims in this realm and one swims in the higher realms. And in some ways, that speaks to the dichotomy of the female masculine as well, right? The feminine is receptive, internal. It is black, right? Yin, receiving, flow, intuition. And then the masculine is active, assertive, yang, hot, yin, cold. And so we have an interesting dichotomy with this new moon eclipse of two energies: the material world, that could be the masculine, and the spiritual world, that could be the feminine, right? So what happens when you bring two opposite energies together is you can create Well, if it's fire and water, you can create steam, right? Or if it's a male and female, you can create a baby. Yeah. And so this is a very fertile new moon because we're bringing together sun and moon, material, spiritual, emotional, together in Pisces, the great spiritual activation, I would call it. And at the same time, we have the destiny point, which is what we are collectively learning, tuning into, tapping into, and connecting to. This is nice. Be up a little higher. And we have Chiron, the wounded healer, joining that. So we have the sun, moon, Chiron, and the wounded healer all together at the new moon solar eclipse. And people are going, why is the energy so intense? Well, it is our collective destiny for all of 2024. The destiny point, or some people know it as the north node point of the moon, will be in Pisces for the remainder of 2024. So we have a whole year, my friends, for learning a lesson. And what is that lesson? The best way to tap into and tune into the lesson of the destiny point is to first know that with the destiny point, there is always its polar opposite, its twin of the karmic past life point. And this tells you between the two of them what that energetic dynamic is. Okay. And so right now, the destiny point is in Pisces. It's going to be conjunct the sun at the eclipse. And the south node point is in Virgo, and it's going to be opposite the sun, the destiny point, and the Chiron point, in a completely different energetic. It's going to be in Virgo, which is earth, which is material. It is anything you can really materialize into the physical realm or negotiate or navigate with. It is earth energy. It is grounded. It is analytical. It is mental. It is rational. It can build things in the physical plane. Whereas Pisces is more of the musician or the artist, the ephemeral, the swimmer, the mermaid. Okay, so our current destiny point revolves around us tapping into, or I should say the biggest lesson, tapping into, tuning into our spiritual self, our intuitive self, our feminine self, the place where we flow, water, feeling, emotion. Whereas the south node, the karmic point, what we're leaving behind in the year 2024. Virgo is hard work in the material realm. It is analysis, rationality, it is service. It rules the sixth house of the astrological chart, which is work, service, the body, health, and routine. And so Virgo energy really loves to do things in an organized, structured, routine way. Virgo is the sign of the doctor, the nurse, the service person, the person who cleans and organizes and analyzes and creates structure and purity and clarity for people. It is very grounded, very grounding, and very exact, precise. And that is the karmic point. That is the past life point. That is what we are moving away from. Virgo's tendency is to give and give and give and give and give and give and give. And that is what they are here for. They're here to serve, to be of service, to give, to work for the betterment of all beings. And that's beautiful. But it can run into a challenge, which it can tend to overwork and overgive and exhaust oneself. Okay, and that's the past life. That's the karmic point. That's what we're moving away from. Whereas the destiny point, what we're growing into, what we're learning as a culture, as a community, is how to receive, how to feel, how to flow, how to allow the universe to work for us. Instead of with Virgo working so hard to make everything happen, allowing the universal source supply to come through us as a divine offering for the planet. And this means giving from an overflowing cup, putting away the overwork and the strenuous work and the grind, and instead inviting in more retreat, more rejuvenation, more spirituality, more breath work, more song, more sound, more being. And so this big dichotomy is coming to a intense crescendo here at the beginning of the year, here at April 8th. It's just the beginning of this year. Those two, that big karmic lesson that we're learning in the collective about letting go of all that hard work. We're working so many thousands of years in our society doing, acting, the masculine, that material reality. And finally, after thousands of years, the tide is shifting. It is shifting out of overdoing. It is shifting out of overgiving. It is shifting out of having to prove everything in the material plane, and is instead flowing into the divine receptivity of the water, of the flow, of the intuitive space. So what does this mean for everyone out there? This means that if you are spiritual, intuitive, you have access to your feminine flow as a guide, as a facilitator, as a healer, then this year, your skills, your services are going to be in hot demand, because the world is shifting from the Virgo hard work ethic, work till your knuckles are bare, to let us rejuvenate what has been tired. Let us rest what has been worn out. Let us refill those cups of the soul with the soul juice nectar of the divine flow, the poetry and the music and the dance. Are you an artist? Are you a musician? Are you a creator of any kind? Do you make movies? Do you make film? Do you write books? Do you use your imagination? This is your year. This is your year to allow that beautiful, flowing, magical, divine, sparkly spirit to come through forth from you, to shower the world in the gifts of your beauty. And so this is a shift from the mindset, the consciousness of our collective. And it can bring up a lot as we shift out of a paradigm that has held us in its grip for thousands of years. And so if you are feeling that, you are not alone. You are not alone. And if you are feeling any of the tender places or spaces where you have been a healer and you have been hurt or outcast or ignored or persecuted for your gifts of spiritual truth, wisdom, and light, those things are also being brought up to the surface. And they have been for me as well. And the only reason I am standing here right now is that I have been working with fellow spiritual healers and teachers and guides to assist myself through this. And so I know how deep and intense these things are that are arising. And I really want to invite you to be kind, to be gentle, to reach out for support, to nestle into the arms of divine love in nature, to go out into nature, to lay upon the earth, to walk out into the rain, to stand by the water, to place your feet in the water and let this stuff go. Because that is what this new moon eclipse is inviting us to do. This eclipse has a little bit of an energy of a full moon. Typically, new moons we go within. It's a very quiet time, very introspective. This new moon feels like a full moon. So it is bringing like a magnet to the surface so many levels and layers of us that are ready to be cleared and let go. So I invite you to allow the magnetization of this solar eclipse to bring that which needs to go up and out, and then allow yourself to envision and create that seed of what you wish to grow in your garden. It is the new moon. What is your intention? What is your vision? Knowing all the things I've shared with you, It might be a great year to start a retreat center, to start a healing business that's using song and spirituality and sound. Energy, energy, energy flow. Get in tune with the water, my friends. Invest in water. This is the focus of this year. We are returning to the divine flow of all of creation. And it is a big shift, and we are in this together. If you're interested in dialing deeper which arena of your life this eclipse energy is activating for you, I have been doing some amazing one-on-one sessions that have been spot on and powerful, and the people reaching out are the people who are having the most powerful activations in their life right now, I tell you. And it's just been incredible to witness, and I'm holding space for all of us that this new moon eclipse be filled with ease and love